What if I told you that the official heart healthy diet isn't protecting your heart at all? What if it's actually a slow motion protocol designed, intentionally or not, to keep you sick, keep you on statins, and keep you dying right on schedule? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how the heart healthy diet is killing you slowly. And more importantly, the alternative that actually lowers inflammation, protects your arteries, reverses arterial sclerosis, in my opinion, the actual root cause of heart disease, and supports real longevity. Side-Eye Dad here. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so this video is near and dear to my heart. This is the diet my family followed as a kid because my entire family was riddled with heart disease, and we were told it wasn't our fault. I lost family members to heart transplant surgeries. I still to this day have many family members with stents that are following Western medicine traditional advice and following partly the heart healthy diet. This is a topic that got me into the holistic health world, and it's the one that I'm most passionate about. Heart disease kills one American every 40 seconds. Over 2,000 people die a day. It's the #1 cause of death in the world, not just in America, but globally. Around 85 million Americans right now are living with some form of cardiovascular disease or the aftermath of a stroke. And for the last 60 years, we've been told there's a simple solution. Follow the heart healthy diet. Cut the fat. Cut the cholesterol. Choose margarine over butter. Switch to vegetable oil. Eat more heart healthy whole grains. Here's the problem. We've done all that, and heart disease has exploded. The heart healthy diet as we know it today is built on one central idea, that saturated fat and dietary cholesterol clog your arteries and cause heart disease. This began with Ansel Keys and the 7-country study that really was a study of 22 countries, but he just so happened to cherry pick the 7 that fit his narrative. I won't make this video about that, but if you're interested, I'm happy to deep dive on that in a later video, or you could simply just do a Google search and do some research on your own and find that information out yourself. But the solution we were told is to eat less fat, especially less animal fat, and replace it with grains, vegetable oils, and lean processed food. This low-fat, low-cholesterol gospel is the one on the back of every cereal box, the one your cardiologist probably still recommends. But here is what research actually shows. As Udo Erasmus, the author of Fats That Heal, Fats That Kill, puts it, for 30 years, doctors have measured cholesterol levels as predictors of cardiovascular disease. And those measurements turned out to be better for business than better for prediction. Better for business. Because when you lower the bar for what counts as high cholesterol, you suddenly have more customers for statin drugs. And when you demonize butter and eggs, you create an entire industrial food economy built around seed oils, margarine, and heart-healthy cereal. The heart-healthy diet wasn't built on great science. It was built on bad science that made a lot of people very, very rich. And the people are paying for it. That's us. We're paying for it with our arteries, our hormones, our brains, and honestly, our lives. So let's start with the biggest lie of all, the cholesterol myth. You've been told your whole life, even maybe to this day, that high cholesterol causes heart disease. But look at what the research actually shows. Cholesterol is not a fat. Chemically, it's an alcohol that behaves like a fat. And far from being your enemy, it's actually one of the most essential substances in your body. Your brain is about 25% cholesterol. Every steroid hormone you make, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, cortisol, DHA, is built from the cholesterol backbone. Your cell membranes need it. Your vitamin D pathway depends on it. Your serotonin production depends on it. Now, here's where this gets really interesting. Dr. Sergey Duzagan, a former chief of cardiovascular surgery, points out that chronic low cholesterol below 160 is associated with increased risk of most cancers, hemorrhagic stroke, suicide, depression, bipolar disorder, and several gastrointestinal conditions. And here's the kicker. Several studies have found that patients with low cholesterol have had the highest rates of death from coronary heart disease. Let that sink in. That's the very thing you've been told to drive into the dirt. The thing that statins are designed to crush is correlated. When it goes too low, the higher the risk of dying from the exact disease you were trying to prevent. The statin myth that lowering your LDL protects you rests on the assumption that LDL causes heart disease in the first place. And that assumption is crumbling. Researchers are now showing that low cholesterol impairs the delivery of vitamin E and carotenoids to your cells, which may be why lowering cholesterol is associated with a higher cancer risk. So if cholesterol isn't the villain, what is? The real drivers of heart disease aren't butter and egg yolks. They're inflammation, blood sugar dysregulation, and oxidative stress. And the heart-healthy diet makes all three of those dramatically worse. And let's follow the chain here. When you eat low-fat, high-carb diet, the diet that's been pushed on Americans for 60 years, your blood sugar spikes over and over all day long. Your cells become less sensitive to insulin, so your pancreas pumps out more. Now you have chronic high insulin and chronically high blood sugar. That's called hyperinsulinemia, and it's the engine behind the metabolic syndrome. From there, the cascade is straightforward. Decreased insulin sensitivity leads to high blood pressure. It leads to hyperlipidemia, which is high triglycerides. It leads to small, dense inflammatory LDL particles that actually do damage to the arterial walls. So at the root of heart disease, if you swim upstream past the symptoms, what you find is not dietary fat. You find blood sugar dysregulation or inflammation of the arterial wall, which is arteriosclerosis, caused by sugar. And then there's glycation. When excess sugar binds to proteins and fats in your body, it creates what are called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These also stiffen your arteries, they damage your collagen, they accelerate aging in every tissue they touch. High fructose corn syrup, that's the sweetener that's nearly in every processed heart-healthy product, is estimated to produce these aging compounds 10 times faster than regular sugar. So what is heart-healthy diet actually delivering? Whole grain cereal with skim milk, a bagel with low-fat cream cheese, pasta with tomato sauce, lean packaged snacks, a stick of sugary granola, all of it converts to sugar. All of it drives the exact cascade that causes heart disease. You were told to fear the steak. You should have been fearing the bread. Now, let's talk about the most damaging piece of the heart-healthy diet, the one that almost nobody is warning you about: seed oils. When you were told to replace the butter with vegetable oil, what you actually were switching to was this: soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, cottonseed oil, industrial extracted, heavy processed, large from GMO crops, oxidized on a factory floor, bottled in clear plastic, and sold to you as heart healthy. These oils are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6 isn't evil in moderation. We actually need some, but the human body evolved on a rough 1-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. The modern American diet ratio is actually closer to 20 to 1. Sometimes it's even higher. That massive imbalance is pro-inflammatory. It fuels the exact silent, low-grade inflammation that damages arteries, stiffens vessels, and triggers the immune response that eventually shows up on your labs as an elevated C-reactive protein. Then there are trans fats. These are created when liquid vegetable oils are hydrogenated to become solid. So margarine, shortening, and most of the buttery spreads that your grandmother was told to eat instead of real butter and that was pushed on me as a kid. I remember the big tub of country crock. The trans fat interferes with insulin receptors. They get incorporated into your cell membranes and make them stiff, rigid, and poor at communicating. They displace healthy fats out of your tissues. Your brain, which is 60% fat, literally becomes slower, harder, and more rigid when you eat them. They are linked to heart disease, diabetes, depression, and dementia. The heart healthy diet told people to eat this stuff for decades, and now we're paying the collective price. So if the total cholesterol is a lousy predictor of heart disease, what should you actually be looking for and looking at? Here are the markers that matter. The ones functional practitioners are going to care about are far more than the number on your standard lipid panel. C-reactive protein, it's a direct marker of inflammation in the body. Second, fasting insulin, fasting glucose, and more importantly, hemoglobin A1C, because blood sugar dysregulation is actually the root. Third would be triglycerides and the triglyceride to HDL ratio. It's actually a far better predictor of LDL alone. Fourth would be homocysteine levels, ideally below 8 in women, below 10 in men. Fifth would be LDL particle size, because small, dense LDL is problematic, not large, fluffy LDL. And NMR lipoprotein will also show you this. I actually made a video breaking this down, ApoB and LPA. So check that one out. I'll drop it right here on top. If you want to protect your heart, these are the numbers to watch, not just total cholesterol, not just LDL. Inflammation, insulin, particle size. That's where the real story is. Now you might be asking yourself, so if the heart healthy diet is wrong, what do you actually eat? And the answer is what I like to call a whole foods, anti-inflammatory, low-glycemic diet. Basically the opposite of what's been pushed on you. And another video that I'll make soon is the flipping of the food pyramid. I have said that for the longest time. The food pyramid should have been flipped over, and I'm so glad that it just got flipped. But here's what this looks like. Number one, eat real fat without fear. Grass-fed butter, ghee, lard from pastured animals, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. Coconut oil is actually particularly special because it's medium chain triglyceride fatty acids, and it actually helps regulate blood sugar. Actually, before insulin was discovered, diabetes was treated with a high-fat diet. The second would be get your essential fats from real sources. So wild-caught salmon, sardines, anchovies, mackerel, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, freshly ground flax, and chia, both of them stored in the fridge so they don't go rancid. Pastured eggs, and the yolks are actually where the nutrition lives, so don't just go to, as we all have been told in the heart healthy world, only eat your egg whites. That's a fallacy. Grass-fed beef and pastured meats are key because you are what the animals eat. 3, eliminate the damaging fats entirely. So no soybean oil, no corn oil, no canola oil, no cottonseed oil, no safflower oil, no margarine, no hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated anything. If it comes in a plastic jug from the center aisle of the grocery store, there's a very high percentage chance it doesn't belong in your kitchen or pantry or fridge. 4, crush your blood sugar load. Remove the refined sugar. Remove the high fructose corn syrup. Remove the refined flour. Most people will benefit enormously from removing sugar, gluten, and dairy, at least for a period of time. And I always believe that certain dairies are okay, things like A2. So you could always remove it, see how you feel, introduce an A2 variant back in, certain types of cheeses, A2 milk, A2 protein, and see how you feel. 5 would be eat the rainbow, mountains of vegetables, especially dark leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, bok choy, which all support your liver's detoxification pathways. Low glycemic fruits like berries as well. 6, you could spice it up. Things like turmeric, ginger, garlic, cinnamon, rosemary, oregano, cayenne. These spices literally talk to your genes. They reduce inflammation, they improve circulation, and they protect your mitochondria. I recommend, especially if you have kids, start your own herb garden. There's nothing better than having organic soil, organic vegetables, and even just organic spices, and just cooking with the organic spices. There's nothing better than that. It's better than dried. Use your kids as well. Get them out and get in the sun and get outside, soak up that vitamin D, and actually start your own herb garden. It's so important. 7 would be to include circulation supporting foods. So beets and beef juice, dark leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables. All of these are natural sources of oral nitrates, which support healthy blood vessel dilation and blood pressure. Pomegranate could also work for antioxidants. Hawthorn berry could work as well if you want an herbal ally for the heart. 8, and we've been told to fear this in the heart healthy diet, but do not fear real salt. Refined table salt in processed food does drive blood pressure, but good unrefined sea salt, rich in minerals, is essential to the body. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think of it like this. Salt is essential for the body. Your body can't create salt. It can create sugar. You need salt. Examples are Celtic sea salt is very good, and or I love Redmond sea salt as well. That's actually mined in the US. It's ancient sea salt. So Celtic and Redmond I think are the best. I use both because there's different trace minerals in each. So I'd support that. 9 would be support the whole system. Sleep a solid 8 hours, ideally in bed before 10 p.m. Manage stress actively. So things like meditation, breathing exercises, walking in nature, whatever works for you. Move your body daily, even if it's just walking. Quit things like smoking and avoid secondhand smoke, and minimize alcohol. If you can, remove it altogether. Filter your water as well. And I will say that I broke down a video about healthy habits for success, and that's an easy protocol that you could just take and run with and start to layer into your habits daily. But these things, these 9 things I just outlined, these are the actual protocol for a heart healthy diet. It's not glamorous. There's no pill. There's no cereal box, but it's what works. So in closing here, the heart healthy diet that we've been given is this protocol for a population of sick people. It's not a plan for healthy ones. It was built on bad science and a biased study from Ansel Keys. It was marketed by the industry that profits from your illness and reinforced by the medical system that would rather prescribe you a statin than teach you how to eat. You don't need low-fat cereal. You don't need margarine. You don't need egg beaters and skim milk and lean casein. You need real food. You need your blood sugar stable. You need your inflammation low. And you need to stop being afraid of the foods that humans have been eating for the last 200,000 years. Eat the butter, eat the eggs, eat the wild salmon, eat the greens, skip the seed oils, skip the sugar, move your body, and sleep well. That's how you actually protect your heart. That's how you live a long life of health. Now, if this video opened your eyes, share it with someone you love, because the odds are they're still eating the heart healthy diet, the same one that I used to eat as a kid. And this may be the thing that actually kills them. Remember, you have to layer these changes in. I always say this, and I truly mean it. Small changes over a long period of time will make a massive impact on your health long term. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next video.